4.1, we had a gentleman that came to the board office within the last couple of months and presented a very generous offer, one that just really took us by surprise, but we're very, very fortunate to have, as Larry talked about, one of the things that we talked about after September 20th was the healing process and how well the community stepped up and has just overwhelmingly supported our schools and our kids and our staff members. And Todd Ratliff with Total Home and Farm Video Solutions here in Mattoon came forward with a very generous donation. I'm going to let him explain that, and he has some other folks here as well that I'm going to let him introduce. So, Mr. Ratliff, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Todd Ratliff. I'm the president of Total Home and Farm Video Solutions. This is my wife, Becky. We opened our company up here in Mattoon July 2015. With my past in the video industry and law enforcement, I've worked with many schools. This is actually the third school shooting that I've had something to do with, some way, shape, form, or fashion. So we've dealt with the healing process, and we know this is a critical time. The day after the shooting, I was in my office, and one of the people that I'm getting ready to introduce was sitting there with me. We were working on some projects for some other local cities and another school the day after the shooting. After she had went home, I was just sitting at home thinking, and I thought, what can we do to make a difference? I'm a little company. My wife and I are not rich people. We're building a business. We're trying to do it the right way. We're veteran owned. We're hiring our local veterans. We're hiring our local citizens. So I called Wendy. This is Miss Wendy Stimmick with Panasonic. She's our territory account manager. Will you stand up, Wendy? And then we've also got Willie Sykes with Panasonic. He's my inside rep. He's out of Houston, Texas. Wendy's out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, by the way. Blake Johnson from Atlanta, Georgia. He's the head engineer and architect with Panasonic on their video insight side and on their video camera system side. I've also got Will Melendez. Will is with Raspberry. He's our manager for Raspberry, him and his wife both. Will is in charge of North America and Latin America. Central North America.
Central U.S. and Latin America.
And Latin America. Whole bunch far away from Mattoon, Illinois. But we've been working with them on several projects. So when I talked to Wendy on the phone and we decided to take this up the chain, this was signed off on by the executive vice president of Panasonic. Panasonic's the 31st largest company in the world. Raspberry is a $10 billion a year company headquartered out of Dallas, Texas. It was taken directly up to the CEO for their approval. This is not necessarily something that they do on an everyday occurrence, but being here and taking part in our business and the partnerships that we've formed, it seemed like we had the relationship where I could just ask. So I did. And go to the next slide. I think I got everybody introduced there except Austin Ewer. Austin is my public works coordinator at the company. He's the one that handles our grant work and stuff like that. We are a video surveillance company. We don't offer monitoring, we don't do access control, we don't do alarm systems. We strictly specialize in video. All our integrators are trained directly with the manufacturers, so the warranties that the manufacturers provide go on to our customers as well. What we've got for equipment, Panasonic has donated between 60 and 80 cameras. They've donated the A35 NVIDIA Panasonic model. You'll see I put it on your tables in front of you. We've got a bullet camera that's going inside the school down the hallways, showing us the interior of the doors, so we're covering locations like that. And then we've got bullet cameras where we're covering the outside exterior portions of the building. They've also been kind enough to donate 10 PTZ cameras. That's pan, tilt, zoom. So these cameras have 4 times or up to 20 times optical view on the cameras. They can scan the lot if there's nobody supposed to be there. It'll pull to them, zoom in, get a copy, pull back out, and stay with them until they get off the property. So these cameras have extensive features, and they're used specifically for these applications throughout the world. Panasonic, of course, is the #1 camera company. You're getting ready to watch the Olympics on Panasonic cameras. I'm going to have the representatives come up. I'm going to introduce Blake Johnson. He's going to come up and talk a little bit about the video insight portion of the cameras, what the functionalities are and features, a little bit of what the system high points are. Mr. Blake Johnson.
Thank you, Todd. So what we have bring to the table from a Panasonic offering is we're bringing state-of-the-art technology that is transitioning the industry from a forensic investigative tool to more of a preventative and monitoring type stance. And that's going to give you that flexibility, especially your SROs and your security individuals, to monitor actions that are taking place on site, because we give you tools to review footage, not only from a PC or a laptop, but also your mobile devices and your tablets as well. It's going to give you the ability to retain footage for a period of time. So sometimes students don't come up and say, you know, I had an incident right at that time, but they'll come a month later. You should have, or a few weeks later, you should have some of that video footage to support that claim. Now, one of the great things also about the Panasonic endeavor is, as Todd expressed, you know, we're a very large company. We bring a lot of that peripheral technology, as we say in the industry, as far as camera technology, and we bring it out to the market where it's not on the server side. So it makes it a lot more flexible for you guys to deploy technology. That is the primary focus of what we're going for, is giving school systems a very useful tool and easy to use tool, because the system has been designed for both graphical and local individuals involved. So regardless of the user, they're going to have an easy way to manipulate the software. We're in over 9,000 K-12 schools in North America and 3,600 school districts as it stands today. We're one of the most abundant K-12 education providers out there because of our technology and what we can offer all of our customers. And I know Todd has talked to you at length about the capability from just outside of high school going to other schools as well. So there's a lot of capability there from a security aspect as well as an SRO aspect that's going to give them tools to perform their job even better. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Compared to what we have now existing in the high school, I want to use my comparison. It's like comparing a watermelon to a dump truck. Where you are compared to where you're going on the camera side of the house. Will Melendez is going to come up and talk to us. As I told you, he's with Raspberry. Raspberry has donated 3 servers with 32 terabytes of storage to y'all. That's a lot of storage. There shouldn't be any issues with capacity or anything, even if it come to where you wanted to extend it out into some of the other schools. We'd still have a pretty strong backbone there to support it. And they're giving the school just a couple little bonus things on the side, just because. So, yeah, Mr. Melendez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, my name is Will Melendez, as Todd said. Just real quick, you know, when you look at a traditional surveillance project, what you usually need is a server, and you need a switch, and you need storage, and you need cameras, and you need the software. So Panasonic generously donated cameras, Video Insight, part of Panasonic, also donated the software. We're providing the solution from a hardware perspective. What makes Raspberry unique is that it's cutting edge and that it's an all-in-one appliance. So when we say we gave you 3 servers, we're giving you 3 servers that supports the amount of cameras that are donated, but the reality is the server the switch, and the storage are all inside one unit. The bonuses, the little bonuses that we're providing is Raspberry is unique in the industry in that we also provide cybersecurity software associated with that. So any device plugged into a Raspberry unit is pretty much hack-proof. So they can't use, hackers can't try to get in to the school's network via the cameras or any other Internet of Things or IoT device plugged in. And the example I'll give very quickly is last year Amazon Web Services got taken down. And that took down Netflix, and that took down, which is where they store all of their technology. The way the hackers did that was they took control of 80,000 cameras around the world and pointed it at Amazon Web Services and crashed Amazon Web Services. So today, the concern, the challenge is, obviously we have social aspects and healing and the human aspects, but there's also the concern of the cyber. The Raspberry solution will help you guys significantly, as he said. I love it, by the way. Watermelon to a dump truck. That dump truck is now officially secure from a cyber perspective, from an antivirus perspective. So now the big one that's out there is called ransomware. We partner with a company called Silence. So our solution also comes with antivirus and malware. So know that this solution is literally for you, bleeding edge, that current federal government agencies are using, major corporations worldwide. So we're happy to be a part of this, and we just want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be a part of the team. And we're happy to support you and the team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So after we push this idea up the chain of commands and literally one of the largest companies in the world, we started seeing that things were coming together and we needed to kind of get a design and we needed to get a plan together. So I reached out to Chief Jeff Branson and we talked to Mr. Lilly. Mr. Lilly expressed that he thought it'd be a good idea for us to spend some time with Kent Metzger and with Casey Alexander. So numerous times they've been up at my office and we worked on some specific software to help set up the layout and the design and to be able to encompass your campus. So this is what we got. A little over 60 cameras. Panasonic was $33,500. Raspberry was $20,350. My wife and I's part at the company comes to approximately $9,500. And the school district will be responsible for the labor. We went over it with Mr. Lilly. We feel like that's a high number, but we wanted to make sure y'all were covered. So again, depending on the time it takes to install it, we've got a short span to do it, and I think we can encompass that. That's my offer to you. And I hope it helps. I hope it makes the entire community feel better. I want you to know I couldn't do this by myself. I'm not that guy. We're not rich. I just happen to be in the right place, and I'm trying to do the right thing with my company, and to where I'm being recognized throughout the country and bringing in some of the strongest support that a guy can bring right here to our community.
You say you're not rich, but you are rich in your heart.
I try to be.
Thank you very much.
I feel like I'm on Ellen.
Thank you, Todd.
Todd, I got a quick question if I can. This system, I assume, can be accessed from outside of that school, like the old system was able to be done by different people?
Yes, sir. I spoke with Chief Branson. Now, I have not been in communication with Chief Taylor as of yet because of the time frame of everything. But I'm under the impression that it will be on some of the PD's squad cars.
You know where I was
On
going?
the captain's vehicles. They currently have access to the same cameras and the same system, which is what I installed in the Mattoon Park District.
Right. Okay.
I'm sure you've seen
Yep,
very high quality.
yes. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other questions?
Seeing none, Mr. Sherman?
This may be one of the easiest recommendations I've ever done. I would recommend that the board accept the gracious donations, and thank you very much, the gracious donation of the security camera system.
Okay, I need board action to accept the donation of the security camera system. Erica, and a second by Ashley. Any other questions other than our hearts are filled with love? Thank you
Just
so
thank
much.
you. Oh my God, thank you, all of you.
Seeing no other comments, Linda, will you call roll?
Overton,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Standifer,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Kathleen,
With a huge thank you, yes.
Steinle.
Yes. Thank you.